Hi there, I care and you matter. I'm Shannon and welcome to my channel and welcome to another casual conversation. Today is October 7th, Monday, and I'm going to give you a quick update on what happened last week and what I'm hoping happens this week. And before I do that, I'm going to switch my glasses out here. There we go. Okay, now I can see you much better. I'm at that lovely age, that time of life where you have different glasses for different things. And I was wearing my distance glasses, so everything was a little blurry. But everything's better now. So, oh my goodness, I have been struggling. Oh, big surprise. Sure seems like that has been the norm lately. And I did meet my goal. I wanted to publish my book, which I did. I published the first book in the Tether and Token series, which is a middle grade fiction series. And it's called Meg and the Tiny Token. I'll leave a picture of the outside cover here for you, and I'll leave a link to the book down below if you want to check it out. So if you know any children in upper elementary, and this book is great for avid and reluctant readers. What does that mean? It is only a third grade, 5th month reading level with really short chapters, but has fast acting, lots of story going on without dragging it out. So it's a shorter book meant to be more accessible to even those kids who aren't necessarily, thrilled to read. Why did I write that? Because one, I was one of those kids. And two, when I taught 4th grade, which was my favorite grade to teach, oh my, I had a lot of kids who didn't want to read books that looked like baby books, younger level books, because they weren't younger level kids, but they struggled to read. And it was hard for me as a teacher to find books that looked older, but were at their correct reading level. So that's what I'm striving to write for. High on story, short on chapters, and shorter on words. So anyway, if you don't mind, if you have a child in your life, or you're a teacher or a librarian, check out my book. I hope to get some positive feedback, and I'll take any honest feedback on that book, because I think even the not so fun feedback to get, you can do good things with, and often that's the most helpful. So okay, I digress. Despite meeting that goal, oh my goodness, I struggled last week. And for the life of me, I could not figure out why. And oh man, I'm going to be honest. Sometimes I get down and I can't put my finger on why. Sometimes there's not even a real reason. Excuse me. But I was struggling with sleep. I was still in a flare that I've been struggling with for the last 3 or 4 weeks. And I just finally asked my husband, I'm like, what? I need some help. What do you think I should do to get out of this? I was tired of not feeling good. And he said, you know what the problem is? You're in an echo chamber. He said, you've had a lot of crap happen lately, and now you're all up in your head, and that's what you're focusing on. And oh my goodness, he's right. Because when you're in an echo chamber, that's all you're hearing. And it dawned on me, oh my, I need something else to absorb myself in. I need something else to get into, because we feel what we focus on, right? And so I was focusing. Now, there's been a lot of crap, like I said, that has happened lately, all within the span of the last month, less than the last month. Jason lost his job. Mark got in massive trouble at school, which isn't a surprise, but it's still crap to deal with. I've been struggling. Well, I had to find medical insurance, and the medical insurance, because Jason lost his job, is over $700 out of pocket. So suddenly I had to figure that out. It's been a whole heck of a lot. And because of that, it led to a flare due to stress of my psoriatic arthritis, which, let's just add constant pain on that. Why don't we? So yeah, it's been a crap ton of stuff, and I'm tired of it. And he's right. I was focusing on it, and he's like, well, of course, of course you're going to focus on it. It's, yeah, none of that's going away. So I sat down yesterday. Actually, I didn't sit down. I tried to sleep yesterday, and I couldn't sleep last night. And so it dawned on me, I need something to throw myself into. And while I wrapped up that first book and it was exciting and it's done and it's out there, I'm halfway through the second book already, but I haven't picked it up again. And I need to get that momentum going again. I need to kindle the passion, find the spark. And so I got me another project. I'm working on a little magnet board where I can visually move a little marker and track where I am, Act 1, Act 2, Act 3 of the actual book that I'm working on. And it's great because, like I said, I'm halfway through writing that book. So immediately when I have my little progress tracker board on the wall, and it's here next to me, I just haven't finished it yet. I'll show that in another video. But I'll immediately not have to start at the beginning. I think I'm in the end of Act 2 in the second book. But anyway, I digress. So that's project number 1. Project number 2 I'm working on, and I guess I'm one of those weird people. I feel better when I'm involved in a project. My husband, not so much. For him, that puts pressure on him. But I'm one of those people, what is that saying? Idle hands are the devil's playground or the devil's work. Anyway, I like to be busy, and I like to be busy on a project of mine, not necessarily a project for work. And, well, let's just face it, Mark's a project all the time. But I like to be busy on a project of my own creation. So, what's my next project? Besides my little tracker board, I am going to create a learning cart. I am happiest when I'm actively trying to learn something new, when I can throw myself into it and just really devour something. And so, what is this learning cart? I'm waiting till tomorrow. Tomorrow is Amazon Big Deal Days. It's the 8th and the 9th. So I'm hoping, I already put a cart in my shopping cart, and I'm letting it sit there tomorrow and see if it goes on sale, because oftentimes that will happen. Maybe not that exact cart might go on sale, but another one. So I've got that in my cart, haven't checked out, waiting for a deal. I'm going to get a cart, and then I'm going to fill it with tools. I'm going to fill it with some Post-it notes. I'm going to put a bunch of other... Wait, what am I learning? I didn't even share that. Even though I've already written a book, and even though I have learned a lot about specifically the three-act story structure, I don't think you can ever learn enough about the writing craft. If it's your passion, you should want to learn more about it. And it's my passion. I recognize that I am not an expert, but... I'd like to get better at it, and I'd like to know, why do I really like some books versus others? Like I picked up 2 books today at a local thrift store, and I actually read them out loud to Jason while we were driving home, and I'm only in the second chapter of one, and I don't like it. And I'm like, okay, but wait, what do I not like about it? Like I was talking about getting positive and negative feedback. The negative feedback can often be the most valuable, the most helpful. So I put the book in my lap, and I thought, I told Jason, I said, I don't like this book. And it's funny because, I've got a strong opinion about everything, which is both a blessing and a curse. So I tried to use it as a blessing. Why am I reacting so strongly to this book? And it dawned on me, it was written in the first person, and I didn't like almost the forced intimacy of it. I did not like the author putting me in that character's place, in that character's perspective. I was uncomfortable with it because I didn't identify with that character at all, and I didn't like being forced into that. Which was interesting because when I shared that with Jason said, "Oh, but I get you. I bet you they're trying to make it more like a video game. Like in a video game, you're often playing as somebody else." I was like, "Oh, yeah, circle gets a square. He's probably right." But I didn't like it. So it's fascinating. So I decided I'm going to buy books here and there at the thrift store, books that I can read but don't feel guilty about marking up. What can I learn from books I like? What can I learn from books I don't like? And then how can I use all of that to inform my writing? One of the other reasons I was feeling a little blue this week is I let self-doubt creep back in. I was thinking, oh my goodness, I am so old to be starting this. And that didn't feel good. But then I tried to flip the script. I don't think I would have been at this... I don't think I could have written that book that I already wrote and published 20 years ago. I know I couldn't have done it even before that. And it dawned on me, it took me getting to this exact spot, to this age, and having all these experiences to make me feel comfortable and to push me to do it. I spent a lot of my life, even my childhood, in survival mode. And now that both my kids are over 18, even Mark, who has special needs, I've entered into a new phase of life, or I'm choosing to intentionally walk into a new phase of life where I'm not functioning in triage. I'm not functioning in survival. I am trying to be more intentional, and success looks different for me than it would have many, many years ago. So that gives me a certain sense of freedom. And so when I look at it from that perspective, my age, the point where I am in life right now, is absolutely an asset and not to my detriment. And you know what? It's like Jason losing his job. It happened. There's not a darn thing we can do about that, but we can be intentional about having the perspective of, okay, this is an opportunity we can capitalize on and exploit, or we can remain passive and just completely feel defeated. I mean, it is what it is. We can't change the situation, but we can absolutely be intentional in our response. We can be positive or we can be negative. And that's where I'm at with my dreams and my goals. I've been a writer since, even in high school I was writing poetry. In the last 15 years I've been working on curriculum writing. So I've been a writer. I'm not redefining myself. I'm just trying to go off in a different offshoot that might be more fun, and absolutely is more fun. But I'm hoping that comes through in the writing. So I don't know. Like I said, I'm holding my breath and trying not to get too stressed out about it, because this is absolutely a passion project. But I'm also hoping to create a new identity for myself, because I want to write something that I'm proud of. If I'm going to put my name on it, I'm going to be proud of it. And I think there's just too much negativity. The world is hard enough for us as adults, and I have a heart for the kids nowadays. And I wanted to write a book. I wanted to write a series that was action-packed with no violence, that was creative, that that invited kids to see their questions and their curiosity as the absolute asset that they are. And specifically now, in this day and age of AI, I am not a fan. But there's nothing we can do to stop it, right? It's here, and it's growing exponentially. And you might think, oh, good Lord, what kind of jobs are going to be out there? Is there going to be any job security for kids growing up now by the time they get to be adults? And I will say, I'd put money on this. I would stake my life on it. There will always be things that only humans can do, and those skills, I think, are called authentic intelligence, not artificial intelligence, but rather authentic intelligence. And what is authentic intelligence? Human skills, essential human skills: problem solving, troubleshooting, creativity, communication, empathy. I wanted to write a series that encouraged all of those skills and showed specific ways they could be capitalized on, utilized, ways that they're important. And I think that those kinds of skills, those are the skills that get short shrift in the classroom. I know, because 24 years ago, when I was in the classroom 20 years ago, they got short shrift then, and now even more so. And unfortunately, I think those are the absolute essential skills that we should be teaching kids now, because you know what? AI ain't going away. And I think it's important to teach kids, okay, how can they responsibly utilize and leverage AI as a tool, compared to just, laying down and thinking AI is more intelligent than they are. Oh boy, I'm going to get on a tangent here. The organization I work for did a research study. And I teared up because some of the kids, and we're talking 5 and 6 year olds, thought that AI was, 1, more intelligent, and 2, more creative than they were. And it made me, I had a very emotional response to that, because to me, that is absolutely devastating. Absolutely devastating. Because what can be more human than being creative? And for a child to think something artificial and something man-made, man-created, was more creative than them, ooh, that's just hitting me where it hurts. So I want to counteract that. And that's what my series is about. Boy, I just went on a tangent on that. Oh, speaking of which, my husband, God bless him, created a book trailer for me. So I'll leave a link to that in the description below too. It just gives a real brief overview of the series itself. So, oh, sourdough too. Oh, if you followed me in the last several weeks, my first 2 attempts at sourdough, they flopped. Literally flopped. I tried to make 2 loaves. They looked great on the outside 2-3 weeks ago, but inside, oh my gosh, they were heavier than bowling balls. So yeah, that sucked. And the second batch, they didn't rise at all. It was horrible. I made sourdough rolls. That sucked. So this week, I was like, okay, come hell or high water, this is going to work. And they did not rise. They did not rise. And I thought, all day long, right? The first proof, it rose in the bowl. But then when I formed it into 4 little loaves, it didn't rise. I thought, oh boy. I thought, you know what? I'm just going to leave them proof. Or I'm just going to set them on the counter with a tea towel, cotton towel over them, and see what happens in the morning. If they've risen at all, I'm going to throw them in the oven and cook them off. Ooh, they were so good, you guys. Apparently my house is just that cold. It needed to proof overnight on the counter. And it's just flour, water, salt, and starter. I mean, there was no egg or anything in it, or dairy. So I thought, okay, no harm, no foul. Oh my goodness, that bread went like that. And so that was a win. And I proved to Nate that don't give up, don't give up, don't give up. And oh, it tasted so good, you guys. I was just pleased as punch with that. So I guess there's another win. So that was last week, and my goals and upcoming projects for this week. Wherever you are, whatever you're doing, I hope that you have a phenomenal week. And if you find yourself in a place like I've been lately, if you're stuck in that echo chamber of worry and just feeling, I encourage you to get absorbed. Find something that you enjoy. Find something that excites you. Light a spark and just allow yourself to get absorbed in that, and really prioritize something else that you're passionate about, right? Because we can be passionate about worry. We can worship the problem, right? Have you ever heard of that? Worry is nothing more than worshiping the problem. Or we can allow ourselves and our thoughts and our mind to get absorbed in something else, something positive. Even if it's just for a short respite, a short brain break. Thanks so much for watching. And until the next video, I'll catch you next time. Bye-bye.